Hello, hello, hello. Robert here, Zaverax from Legendary Awkward Gamers. Gonna continue on a little bit with the MSQ. Hope everyone's having a good evening or start to a weekend. Summon quest.
Come to see how we're getting on?
Oh yeah.
We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
Okay.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches.
Oh, let's hope.
The reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you.
Ah, Arvenwald.
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
Sure, let's go talk.
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure?
Okay.
After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not?
Yes.
After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots?
Okay.
So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Hey, what's up, Maisie? Oh. Oh, there we go. Alright then. Let's go and find Master Levinar. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Eternite. Won't be along shortly. See you there. Sweet, nice job, man. Greetings, Zaverax. It would seem we are to accompany Alvernaud on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No storing, if you please. Now the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamingo was still a monarchy, and Theodric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was, the king of ruin, suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Ralgar's Reach being burned to the ground. In the later years of his rule, he was seized by an unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. Now, that guy's thorough. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction your ventures to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty? Ah, you assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search for your prize, tempting as it seems? Well, of course, we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamingo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dawn to dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. This explains that the monks of Alamingo were effectively genocided out, and thus the heart of the monk were effectively lost to Alamingo. Oh, alright. But I see you have no intention of letting this story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? I imagine the three of us, delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me, the thought doesn't set your heart racing? Alright. You have learned the emote box. Alright. First off, I gotta see what this emote does. Is it a special? It is a special. Oh, boxing. Okay. Check. Sweet. Oh, well. Hello. Alpha, no, I did not know you cared. Alright, so we got item level 70, item level 3. Alright, what are we rocking now? We're rocking, what, 400 item levels? So this absolutely means jack shit to me. The news of Dome and Alamingo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion. Sweet. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arvenwald. Have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't likely to get us anywhere. So I'll probably need to, ask around? Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. Yeah, you shot a box with that one. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied Archivist and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will see looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Armwell, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks while Zaverax makes the rounds in Alamingo Quarter. Ah, and there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let us be about it. We can meet afterwards in Garbald's Grate. Alright, everybody break on free. Guys, you left before 3. Son of a bitches. Alright, so they want me to go to the Alamingan. No, we're not going to go back to Nald. Alamingan Quarter. Alamingan Quarter. Alright, where are we at here? Oh. Gosh. Bones. Look at this middle-aged Highlander. How are you doing, sir? In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steeps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. No, thank you, sir. I'll have to find the next victim, next person to help me. Oh, a mature maid as opposed to an immature maid? You want to hear of old maid stories, do you? Oh, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. You'd only see his royal majesty when he designed to attend the executions he ordered. And after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding.
I'm trying to move this. It's not even in the right spot. But yeah.
They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow. He wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, crap. Damn it. This cup thing fell to the bottom.
No, it did.
There you go.
I don't understand why this is sitting on the ground. It got broke. It accidentally fell.
Oh, when did it accidentally fall over?
When I was on the neurologist phone call with you, and he was sitting in my chair, and I went to go get a different chair sitting next to him, and he moved after I told him not to move in my seat because it was like really tight.
You want to watch that out? Yes.
Yes, it was really tight. When I came back, and the whole thing was on its end like this, not over while he was on the hallway. So.
Hey, Red Ranger, how's it going? I served at the pleasure of King Theodric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, Lunaheim, how you doing? I was a dark chapter in my life and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when he didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If your hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Ernald. He was the king's head scribe. Oh, why, thank you. That was very useful information. That guy gets a gold star. Oh, gotta get Luke's medicine. Gotta get Luke's medicine. Oh. Alright. rest of it? You're gonna have to call for some more medicine of this.
Okay.
Or are they gonna switch it to something else?
No, they're keeping it back. Why is it gone already?
Well, I mean, it's got like a fifth of the bottle left. Martha, where are you? Yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories? Yet, if Alamingo is to move forward, we must need acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodric's paranoia and the public execution of his kinsman? Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were fortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is his kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Damn it, Spot, you gotta say spoilers. You can't just talk about something that happened back in 1950 like that. Some people might not be up on the up and up. Damn you, Maze. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin, then. As promised, I secured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I concluded that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Zaverax? What of your investigations? Any more fruitful? Turned into monsters? And what could he mean by the darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could the scribe fellow have been spinning him a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Zav? He fears something genuine. He was afraid. It does lend credence to his tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty, Arnold. Anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden. But I share my theory that there is a matter I would clarify. Arvold, you spoke of a light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It was all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that the Alamingan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot of my skin was emerging a third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. no. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamingo, a pharaoh child who got what needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me to the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well that what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arnold, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to clear our tensions. Well, Zaverax, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnold's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Shit, yeah. I already got 9 mil. Then I should be glad to tell my theory to the rest of the palette. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory of the resting place of the Mad King's Trove, if you are minded to hear it. I am casting, healing, aiming, slaying, or fending. No, we'll just do fending, whatever. I always wondered why he had paint on his face, but now I know. Yes, it is. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Schled. Wait, where the hell do he wants me to go to? Where am I at? Oh, I'm over here, okay. Ah, shit. Yo, bro, let me out. I got this feeling. Forgive me, it was not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight when I explain things. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lake you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, I believe, is or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the Fifth Umbral era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise. Having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of the Loch Schled. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodric's former scribe, was not a reference to a prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of despair to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying that they were meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that my that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamingans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have a certain advantage which they did not. Zaverax, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lock and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Ar and I will seek out an enscrolled portal within the palace. Okay, let's do this. Oh, no, don't swim back up, idiot. Oh my god, what am I doing? No. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Excuse me, Snowflake. Beep beep. You come to a worn stone door standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance to the subterranean ruins. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, lads. We might as well make a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. What happened?
I almost walked into that.
Yeah.
Move. Here. Good.
Let's see. Who wants to come with me on this adventure?
Oh, maybe you can.
Oh, can we have a yoo-hoo? A yoo-hoo for the yoo-hoo?
There.
Okay, maybe if I can get them out. I don't know why they're...
Where's his melatonin?
I do not have his melatonin. Alright.
Alex, where are you going? Please.
Just need to buy the next book. I don't know what book you're talking about. Anyone else wish to join us on this adventure? Is Roan on by any chance? Alright, so I guess not.
Nice.
Yeah, I have no idea. I was about to say, when the hell did Red Kai get so tall?
Why? What's wrong with him? And I go to the kitchen, pick up the people.
Okay, that is a cool horse. Kelpie! I love it. When Hydro pulls in, run away.
No, this is what. I'm not free to go out for what.
I'm sorry, Cubby, but this has to come to an end. Shit, running all the way.
Always.
Listen, if the Dragoon can't take a joke, suck it.
That's not my priority. Lay down. What? Why? I'm not going in there, but I'll watch you back in there and I'll cover you up. I'm done.
The old one. Oh shit. See that the big black ghosts are turning into people. Bless you, by the way. Mother, father. Oh. That is cool looking. Good night, sweet prince. Wait, who's that guy?
Oh, bugger it. Are you all right? Aye. Aye. Everything's still attached.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good. We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you? Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
No, he was not. Arnvald and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could imagine, or could manage. But I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose Sir was right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. Ah, we may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found. Quite. I'm still reeling at the sight of the mountain of riches. What, like how you reeled at the sight of the floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Zaverax. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that is all that matters. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I think Lise should be the first. Second, there is to be a meeting of representatives from across Elmingo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Aye. We seek her out because my motorcycle goes vroom vroom. Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's Trove? I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Zaverax and Alpha Node in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it goes towards alleviating the suffering of Alamingo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Avenel did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for and what goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there's one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoil, I would ask that you consult Alphano. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simple handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphano. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem. Deep breaths, tell me what happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters and they've started making demands. You best come and see for yourself.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fedora.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Butcher the... Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about. Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance. But we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
I know you're right, I do, but I can't.
My thanks, Raban. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. This is a tide to stem. It was the same rage which brought us at our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over. All the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just there. Here, we have reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrial souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. Ooh. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before then. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like? It would be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we plan a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Anita and the Quigran to participate. Alamingo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Ferdola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt the meetings. Proceeding. Oh, hey Roan. I didn't realize you stopped in. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put down. Naoko, I already explained that we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated and everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and it would be no better than Theodric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Ferdola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past, a moment of anyway during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the crimes in which she was born, and that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prisoner guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to hear it too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Ferdola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends, she will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. I see the true crime. They gave her pants.
Well, well, well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men! And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
So much rage.
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fedora. I see you for what you are.
Come along, Fadola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right! Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
Oh, shit.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fadola!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of arms.
We're citizens. We have rights.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fadola, please! You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods! What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
She echoed me.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why? Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Cutscenes, cutscenes. Damn it, I am hot, I'm cold. Is this what you're going through? Like, I'm hot and then I'm cold and then I'm hot again.
Yeah.
Like, I turn my fan off like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
I'm in a hoodie right now.
I can't, I keep getting cold chills. Like, my arms, I keep getting like... Yeah, but if I put on like a hoodie or something, I'm gonna fucking die from heat exhaustion. I hate feeling like this. Like, I don't know why. At least you're not gonna make me put my glasses on. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. No. Thank you, Spy. Spy thinks I'm going through menopause.
Well, I mean, you could be.
Oh, God damn it. I am such a raging bitch right now, you know?
Yes!
Ooh.
That's accurate.
Oh my God. And I found something new to think about, too. I don't know about you, Zav, but the vision only came to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. Meow. I shouldn't do that. The cat's gonna show up here and start like, hello?
Right.
And for Streamlabs to ban me for saying the M word. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between the one who was born with the Echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? What the freak do I know? Well, the Immortal Flames have been scouring the research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Aldine's overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Aren't you supposed to be getting ready for some dignitaries to show up or something? Jesus Christ, Leeds. Don't you have some business to do or something? Alright. He's gonna get his YouTube video monetized for meowing. Your dog didn't like that. I mean, like, how much did your dog not like that? Oh, damn it. Damn it. My dog loves cats. Oh. Will you be joining him? I guess so. That's what the MSQ dictates. Yo, soldier, do not run past me. What are you doing, laps around here? Jesus, what are you guys doing in here? Oh my god, what is this man around tables? Everywhere we go, he's got to have tables with him. Can't just be happy with one table, it's got to be multiples. I want Ardenval to be a trust NPC. I don't know what that means. What's a trust NPC? What have you against tables? I don't have anything against tables, but every time Rahaban shows up, if we're planning a war, he's got to have 6 tables, side by side, not end to end, side by side. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're in a research facility, and he's switching up. Now he's got tables side by side, or end to end. Oh, that's neat. More tables makes up for his missing arms. Oh shit, I didn't. What news? You spoke with Fredola, I take it. Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arval noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the Scion's expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. You... Lise? Lise is not an expert. I can tell you that right now. Like all the tables stacked on them. I'm not spending 100,000 MGP. I'm trying to buy that stupid car. What is so funny? Oh, of course you are. Jesus Christ, is it that bad?
It totally got me off guard as I was scrolling through Facebook.
Why does that not surprise me?
But then I had to be like, wait, what am I looking at? And then I was like, okay, I get it now.
You know, there's something wrong with you.
Why?
First off, the hole's not even in the right position. Like, it's got to be turned a complete 180. And then I would have bought it.
I mean, it was still, first glance, funny.
First glance? How many glances have you had, honey?
Fuck you. I mean, it's on my Facebook thing.
I know it's an invisible shield, but I'm still not spending 100k on it. I like my shields. The devices which Krill was held seems more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears label Master Subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze the devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupant, save this one right here. Unlike the others, the interior has been modified or fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I could not tell you. Oh, my damn ear. Alright, so now that that's been settled... Damn, my leg, damn it. Must become alpha node to unlock Sage. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what I've been able to determine, they perished from the forcible ether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. No. You know what's a miserable way to die? Drowning in butter. Because then you're just that goddamn tasty. You want to eat yourself. This is so wrong. So wrong. He just said, they're talking about trust NPCs. Like NPCs you get to use instead of your squad. And he's like, Rahaban is confirmed trust NPC. He can't be a tank because he lacks an arm to use his shield. It's so wrong. Well, what other class can he be? Oh my god. Stop it. Shit. It was just playing. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated, Zaverax. Shall we start with you? Taken in combination with the testimonies of Krill and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case, Krill, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Krill's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Krill is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fredola. The soldiers who guard Fredola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door, night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past, but you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Sile was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Havalgar's past. Verdola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. So now you're just torturing her. Sounds to me like kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of the experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, then they'll be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of those god-forsaken procedures. And Verdola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish, not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. I just noticed the paper towels are going on my desk.
Oh, yeah. Well, when the guy comes to the freaking front door with blood dripping down his face, what do you do?
Tell him to get off your lawn? Get off my lawn, you bleeding kid!
I came and I went through the house looking for paper towels and I saw them on your desk and I took them.
Damn, that's rough.
I'm sorry.
I go looking for answers about the Echo and end up getting schooled by Rahaban. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Aldine is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. Plus, his balls are so big he wheels them around in a wheelbarrow. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face. To continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the lands of their birth. Zaverax, a moment. I am newly returned from Ul'dah, with a message for the Sultana. With a message from the Sultana. Please tell me, Mary Pippin. What is the message? Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. Mary Pippin, couldn't you just send me a raven saying this? An audience with the Sultana? Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about General's future's plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Zaverax. Alright, now, the last time I had an MSQ that involved seeing the Sultanite, it didn't really work out too great. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasure to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arvenwald? I am at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own task. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins, and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Namino my regards, Zaverax. And ours too, if you please. We'll see you when you return. Speak with Bartholomew in Ulda. Pray return to Ulda. Thank you. Gosh, damn it, Maze! Chamber of Rule. My lord, it was an honor to face you in the tournament. Since that day, I have spent my every spare moment in practice yard, striving to attain some fraction of your skill with the blade. Ah, forgive me. You are here for an audience with the Sultanah now. Please proceed. Yeah, thank you, Bart.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Notice there's no wine on the table. It's a good call.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel.
Oh, yeah? Pray tell.
I speak of Rauban and his future.
Oh, here we go. Oh, shit.
All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ulda home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Ulda or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
You don't have to do this.
Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful.
Let me go
Allow me
change.
a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Shit, you ain't telling me anything I don't know. Oh, outside. She's out at the quicksand. Jesus. What the hell are you saying to me? Excuse me? You want to watch your tongue, lady? Huh? You want to say that shit to my face? You know what you need? I know what you need. Yeah. Want some? Pop you right in the mouth. Wait. You still got... Oh, the set of ovaries on this chick. Telling you. Alright, dude, can you take your glowing sword someplace else? You're in my way. Adventures Guild. Adventures Guild. Here we go. Oh! You are, like, right there. Check. Why do you keep wearing the same outfit? Like, can't you get better outfits? Perchance you remember Lyra, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Sean would accompany me, but for this particular outing, I needed an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I require your company. Over the course of my many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of the worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Gate of Nald. Excuse me? You are talking about leaving the city. You have a total of 4 more main story quests and a ton of conversations till the solo fight. Nice. Well, I guess we're gonna... Hey, excuse me. Hey, I got an issue over here. My iced tea's empty. Hey, I'm just letting you know I had a situation. I didn't say you had to do anything about it.
If you didn't want to fight it...
Oh my god, can you stop making so much wind in here? It's so fucking cold. What? I don't know why I'm so
I don't
cold.
know why you're cold. Maybe
Well, here, why don't you check?
You're fine.
See?
You're fine. It's not even warm, dude.
Okay. Hey, shut the hell up, you goddamn hornet. Really? Anybody else here? You want some of this too? Wow. You dumb sons of bitches. You really thought that was a good idea. Look upon this procession of tattered tents.
Are you gonna set your alarm to wake him up, or do I just have to?
I think you're gonna set yours, because I'm planning on sleeping in. I killed this level 1 hornet because he was making too much noise. And 4 other level 1 mobs decided to attack me. These refugees camps in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalon's predators both. The city mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. and unless blessed by the hand of Nod himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. Yeah, tell me about it. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamingo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor have grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Yes, it does. Oh, God, I can't. You've done your best. Then my best is not good enough. Okay, I agree. Shall I press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. I'm sorry, excuse me, where are we going now? How do you move so fast with those little legs? You know what I was thinking? I have no idea. Oh, yeah. You know what I was thinking, say?
What?
How awesome it would be if you made me a DiGiorno pizza. No? All right.
I made you dinner hours ago.
I know, but hours ago have passed.
That's tough for you. You only get that like once a week.
It was here in this unholy, remarkable place that my mother and father met their doom. What, did they fall into the water and get stepped on by a toxic toad? Back in 1.0, you had to escort them to the next location. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interest in Eastern Thenelon when an untimely rock slide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simply misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Rahaban has once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth to he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by a monerist, we could have only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me in the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences of my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many good souls paid the price for my nativity, or naivety. But I'm no longer a child reciting words in witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monerous, damnable games. Forgive me for my outburst. You are one of the few people who I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Sure, that seems logical. Now that you had me travel all the way out here for no reason. I guess it's time for Twizzies. Yes, but does that mean the things that eat them, wouldn't they be considered vegetarians? From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of documents, signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from the ignominious chapter of my life. For it was during an official visit to the Colosseum when I first met Rahaban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamingo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered through I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring, which had arranged for Rahaban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Rahaban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Rahaban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate, and then I had my blade.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Raban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Darn it. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Sean's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchildren. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Rahaban has the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge that could cut the strings that bound me. We must make haste. My absence will go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long. And there are other places I would visit. To the Arzanith Osari. Where the hell is this thing at? What is it? Where the hell is the teleporter? Dharma Church's Guild. Check. Wow. When the Calamity threatened, Rahaban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartanu, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Swan would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I've made a custom of visiting the shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as a Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line of 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads the people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Zaverax. With Alamingo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid these refugees. Already, many displaced Alamingans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan's school in Ralgar's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. The people will need shelter and employment if they are to strive, and this time the Ul'dah treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Golden Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Unfortunately. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. Okay. Damn it, I actually have to put the open landing. Is this door open? Yes, okay. Airship landing. Let's see what we got. I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Don't worry, I won't let happen to you what happened to me. Oh, I get to speak with her at the Golden Saucer? Sweet. Stop it. So we have 5, 6, 7. So damn. As well. Oh, please let this be a 3. Oh, thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Oh, that's... That was beautiful. That would have got me 119. 72, 54, 360, 119. I guess I did pick this up. I had heard a description of its splendor, but yeah, I've never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away my royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Let me just show you to the scratch-offs. You'll like those. Oh shit, I don't know what it's called. What is this one? Wonder Square. What are we talking about here? I've already done this. I believe this is where we meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his company? Yes. Oh, my apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. Wait, he's got pants on. Did he wear pants for her? No apologies necessary, Godbert. Right? Like, every time I see him, he's got those shorts on. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such a short notice. When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalon. You are aware, I am sure, that many of the Alamingans' displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them from suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstance of our meeting and your gracious choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Ulda's wealth to save Alamingan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? Most empathically, I agree with your grace that the refugees must have housing and employment. But what profit is there in Ulda in this arrangement? Profit? After all you've done for Girabana's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Oh, forgive me, your grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man, I fear. However, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamingo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your grace's intention to foster new resentment, but to spread goodwill. Indeed, then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ulda. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamingans, even if it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. Maybe he's like me. Maybe it's cold today. Okay, listen, lady. You either want to give me the goddamn MSQ or you don't. Don't toy with my damn emotions. Prophet. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about laminating my naivety, will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lessons learned and press on. Zaverax, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack of business. Ordinarily, I would not trust an agent of the East Aldernaw Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to lead by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugani and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do so, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Ul'dah. A fair journey to you, Zaverax, and swift one if you please. Yeah, you know what I was thinking? I'm gonna hop over, I'm gonna go to the city I hate. Yeah, alright, I'll do that for you. Oh my god. That's too much. Oh no, just this damn questing.
Oh, okay.
It's MSQ. Ugani bad. Zaverax amazing. I fixed your statement. Yes, I'm gonna just don't talk to me anymore. Oh, Tataru's not here? Zaverax, to what do I owe the pleasure? Oh, are you here on business? I beg your pardon. Her Grace, the Sultana, would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Ul'dah? My dear Zaverax, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Loreto, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garden robe with wealth. I would be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalon. The Waking Sands would seem a suitable neutral venue for negotiations. Don't you think? Fare you well, Zaverax, and may your dealings prove fruitful. So let me get this straight. You're not going to help me. Well, I'll talk to you later, Thancred. I'll talk to you later, Thancock. Where is this little girl at? You're not waiting by the Aetheryte. Where the hell are you? Welcome back, Zaverax. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? What? Lodorito, you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monitors at arm's length. And him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lorito. Let us go ahead to the Waking Sands to prepare for his coming. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of our meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. Lady, there's no one else here. It's just us.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Wow, really, bro?
You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira? Hmm?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say, I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Ooh. Shit. God, I can't remember where these places are. I think Al Ghahana had the mining.
Yes, a quarry town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion. Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Sultry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course. But I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well-versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ons of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck, then.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Zaverax. I could not have done it without you. Of course, it's decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of our plan. I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hex on your return to Alamingo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamingo and Ul'dah both. Okay, what was this? This is... Oh yeah, drop that Shiva? Yeah, no thanks. Damn it, I'm about ready to get a sweater.
Oh my god.
I cannot figure out why I'm so cold. Zaverax, you're back. What did Namina... Oh, I'm sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So Rahaban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lotaru's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, at least assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like to include in the bargain. Alamingo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lotarito too much control. Honestly, Alphanote, it's like Kugani never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss the proposal with the Sultana's residents. Wisecar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Zaverax? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. They're very salty. Oh, this is a guy. Oh my god.
What manner of mischief brings your youngins to old Watt this time, eh?
They want to rebuild the Sultry, Granddad. Zaverax, tell them about the deal.
Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin on hand to put the place back at how it was. But it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us.
Don't worry, Granddad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about standing up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if asked.
I'd appreciate that, wise guy, my lad. Truly I would. But all these damn kids, they need to stay off my freaking lawn. They're killing the crabgrass. So does this mean you're gotten better with your blade of yours? Or are you still fumbling around like a kid trying to play his penis?
I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Zaverax? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Let's not waste any time, then. I'll see you by the lock. While you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting.
Are you not entertained?
Right then, Zaverax. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do and I'll see how well it goes. Suck it. You know what? Suck it. Discover his weak point? Oh, okay. Quick, go for its weak point. Stab it in its mouth. Thanks, Zaverax. I just did as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of lalafels. Let's find something else. Okay.
And his name is John C.
It's not easy fighting with the Liberator Elemengo watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Saf. I feel better prepared for patrols now. Anyway, we should head back to the Saltery before Grandad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed to the Yabby Jatchlings. Was that really loud for you guys? I tried to fix all the audio so it wouldn't be so loud.
Aye, I see you returned to One Piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you?
I fought with them myself. After a bit of instruction from Zaverax here, once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear.
Good lad. I find the young man you become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folks over the city drunken on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, and things will improve over a lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen.
Oh, my God. Here we go. What is this? Seems Wisecar has the sultry security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Aldine. Zaverax, please check Discord. Okay, one. I don't even know if that music's safe. And that is redonkulous. Is he just doing the thumbs up forever? Oh, and then we get the glasses. Nice. Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details. With Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah, you should go. General Aldine asked that you wait for him by the main gate in Al Mingan Quarter. My apologies again, sir. Farewell. Oh shit, I gotta go back to YouTube. I need to go inside, sir.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours.
Then why'd you tell me?
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal. Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the Resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Oh, you're gonna ask me this question? Their lives would be forfeit.
Hear, hear. There is no more fitting sentence for the perpetrators of such a massacre, and that is but one of their crimes. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
Yes, you will.
Well, That concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
I never see him carry Pippin the way he carries the Sultana.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamegan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
Yeah, I did a video on it. It's...
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to do D4 at this stage. Just makes me really sick.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Arvinald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Anita have arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the viral. These are Koana, the ones that summon the primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native speech tribes, but we assume the Qualu would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready to battle. Zaverax, you've dealt with these Qualu before. I'll have you at my side. I'm not sure I'm the guy you want at your side. I killed their god. But, alright. Now, I'm free. See, the problem with this is a situation of should a few bad apples ruin a whole batch? And unfortunately, for me it does. I know there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that work for Blizzard, but it's one of those, if this is going on, how long has it been going on for, and how deep does it actually go? Zaverax, Rob on Gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. Why are your weapons drawn? You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabana home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Anara. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be returned to you when your meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to the meeting chamber. Why do I have a feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? How many more quests do I have until this is done? This Guanyan Elder's intentions seem to be at odds with all we know of our tribe. What do you think of you, Zaverax? The enthralled cannot be trusted. I said that once a creature has fallen under the sway of primals, there is no salvation. I strongly doubt the Guanyan have suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? I got it. I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alminga Quarter. You can go ahead if you like, Zaverax. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. Oh, that takes too long. You know what? I'm just gonna teleport. I brought the reinforcements. Bahamut told me of the arrival of unexpected guests, and I agreed you would be prudent to call upon Ishtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Quanian tribe myself, but Elise's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races despite it, in fact, even compared to the other Anita. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy. And I imagine Lisa was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Ishtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Eldine inside then. Yes, let's do this. Zaverax, do you know the rear entrance of the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there had been instructed to let us pass. You're with the silence, sir. General Dean left orders that you were to be escorted inside, if you'll follow me.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lise has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
God damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
I didn't even see an orb get close enough to them.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity. I shall free you from your hate!
Yeah. Yes, it does. Made it way bigger.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Do not your souls weigh heavy? Darkness holds no solace.
We did it! We beat her!
What is this?
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
You're welcome.
Seven hells. It's her, the Butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven.
forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
She teared. Well fought, Zaverax. Ironweld. That was a near thing. Ah, you stand against the Quilung. Would have been brief indeed, had you not volunteered to guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... God, it's my fault, my stupid mistake. Nonetheless, we were all caught unaware. We will take this as a lesson, and watch our own more carefully in future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Quilung, keeping their weapons, springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sherlanksha's influence. Thanks, Shistola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fredola turned up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfred was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fredola picked up the sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her own country. If you say the world in which Fredola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamingan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happened right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold to 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face, if that's what it takes. It's a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach those destinations. Thank you, Afano. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. There's a little shaking, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted, Zaverax. I see that you're not interrupted. Zaverax, you and the Scions are to stand down, get some rest. You've earned it. Alright, so is this the end of 4.1?
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
What is she doing here?
Forget something? You're great. There was no word.
Reborn Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace.
Reborn, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Reborn. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Alright, I am going to bed. Cannot take any more of this tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night.